What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of TeamBoydTV Game Time. With me, your host, one of the hosts anyway, Big Q.
And Vernie B.
I am here to collect my crow today because I know that somebody got some picks wrong and some other person got some picks right. We're here to really kind of talk about the fallout of what happened on opening weekend of the 2019 NFL campaign. I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of cool stuff happen. I just think that well, before I figure, because you got a chance to really sit at home and absorb everything. I had to actually do it while I was at work. So I got to watch a good chunk of the Red Zone channel while I was at work.
I had my Red Zone on and popping.
But when I'm at work, you can't really give it your full attention.
Right.
But man, it was still some really awesome things happening. I wish I was at home to watch it, but it actually the games on Sunday was actually pretty good. I was surprised by a couple things. Yeah. I was surprised by two things, but I'm gonna get you yours first. So how did you enjoy the games this weekend?
Oh, I thought the games were awesome. Pretty much went as I kind of predicted the games to go. Mm-hmm. I was stunned by the Ravens game. I mean, Lamar Jackson just put a clinic on for these fools.
Yes, that was surprising.
And I was actually surprised by the Atlanta Vikings game.
I wasn't surprised by that one.
I didn't. I guess I wasn't giving the Vikings enough credit.
The other one, I think everybody was surprised by the Ravens, and then again they were playing against the Dolphins. So now I think about it in retrospect, they
the
should have beat the
Dolphins are
Dolphins.
a hot mess,
but I just don't think everybody expected it to go down the way it went.
Right, exactly. Especially with Lamar throwing.
Right, but I was more surprised about the Cleveland Browns. Now, I know tomorrow night I'm going to have to eat a whole lot of crow about these Cleveland Browns because JB is going to be on fire, especially the big win that his team got and all of that, and the fact that I was so wrong about his quarterback. And, he's going to tell me about how I fell for the hype train with the Cleveland Browns. But, I didn't expect, I figured first I figured Cleveland would beat Tennessee, but then I also didn't expect if they were going to lose, him to lose in that kind of fashion.
Right.
I did, Baker Mayfield 3 interceptions. Don't think Odell Beckham's name was called at all.
I'm just not a Baker Mayfield fan anyway. I'm not a fan of Baker Mayfield.
I like the kid. I don't
know
what happened.
He's way too cocky for no reason.
I don't know what happened, man. I really don't know. But,
But like their coach said, you can't overreact to one loss. You gotta move on.
You gotta move on. But the thing that I really didn't like though about the Browns, like Baker and Jarvis and Odell after the game, they were all salty and stuff.
Well,
I don't like that now.
You can't be a sore loser.
Right. Now that I ain't feeling. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're going to be happy, like, trust me, I know because I'm a Panther fan, because when things going good, you dance and you dab and you juke and you jive. And then when you lose, look, you gotta have that same energy.
Pounding, right?
You gotta have that same energy. You can't be, why would you ask me a question? Come on, man.
Right.
Now that, I can tell you that I wasn't feeling. So that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth with the Browns. So, like, I'm gonna take them with a pinch of salt going forward, right?
Got you.
But, aside of all, like I said, I think the games were amazing, but it was a news story that we touched on a little bit last week. But it kind of blew up and came to a head before the games this week with the Antonio Brown story. So, me and Glass, we did the live stream on Fallout today. And we had a big discussion about it, and I don't know. I'm just gonna say these points, and then I'm gonna get your thoughts on it. I'm just like looking at the timeline, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a couple things I was telling Glass earlier today. I was telling him how like the whole thing with Pittsburgh, I was on AB's side. I felt like if he felt that the team was disrespectful and didn't know his family personally and didn't know his kids' names, or whatever it was that he thought was important to him on that personal level, I understand that, right? I get that, even though it ain't necessary.
Right.
But I understand, right?
Right.
But the part that tripped me out about it is that John Gruden and Mike Mayock, they actually did that. They made sure they accommodated that. Mm-hmm. They made sure they accommodated every single thing that Antonio Brown was asking for. The money, which is the main thing. They made sure that he had a nice deal in place. The whole thing about being able to get along with the teammates and being transparent with management and the front office and the coach, they accommodated that. And then, and the thing that kind of really just put a sour taste in my mouth about AB in general is because after all of that, because you remember this big blown out press conference that they had when they introduced him, and they had the kids out there running around, and Mike Mayock and John Gruden, I don't even know what the kid's name is, but they were calling the kids by name. Remember that, right? For Antonio Brown to turn around and, number one, tape his conversation with John Gruden and put it on YouTube, then have a altercation with Mike Mayock, call him a cracker, and then threaten to punch him in the face, right? And then get upset because, he one who missed 2 practices. That's the reason why he got fined, and that's the reason why he lost his money. But he's blaming them for it. Now that I can't smoke with that. I can't do it.
First of all, let's address these kids' names.
Well, I don't know the kid's name.
They're Autonomy.
Okay.
And Antayaya.
Well, maybe that's why Mike Tomlin and them didn't want to
I
say.
don't even know these doggone names.
That's why Mike Tomlin didn't want to
Antonio, stop it. Antonio and them kids. That's who they are. Right. Antonio and them kids. You know your kid's name. Don't nobody need to be worrying about your kid's name. You are here to do a job.
Right. I didn't know what the kid's name was.
I had to look it up. Don't nobody know these kids' name? Autonomy and Antayaya. Get out of here. What foolishness we got going on?
Just saying. But you know what, though?
This whole thing
as weird
is
as those kids'
ridiculous.
names are, Mike and John, they learned them kids' names. And they call them kids by their names, and they make sure they pronounce those kids' names right.
Antonio Brown is a self-entitled individual.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line.
Absolutely.
But true to fashion, he is going to go to the Patriots and be behaved.
Absolutely.
Because he know the shenanigans are not going to be tolerated. And I guarantee you, Coach Belichick don't know A.B. kid's name from a hole in the wall.
And don't care either.
And he's not expecting him to.
That's right.
So, he is going there for discipline, just like a little kid.
Yeah.
You need discipline and structure. That's the only way you know how to act.
Yes.
Antonio is full of crap.
Yeah. But you know what, though? I don't know. We had this conversation, too. Are we looking toward Bill Belichick and New England Patriots to be the Mrs. Doubtfire, the Mary Poppins of the NFL, to take all the bad kids and turn them good? Or... I mean, I don't know.
But they're not taking Antonio Brown to help Antonio.
Right,
they take Antonio Brown because he's talented and can help their team win another Super Bowl.
Right.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
They don't take these bad guys because we want to do some community service in the NFL.
Right.
They take them because they're talented and they can get them for cheap.
Yeah.
This dude went from $30 million to $9 million.
Yes.
This is what you call bargain shopping.
It is, but the thing that and me and Gus got into a heated discussion about this today, is that I really don't like that idea of a dude can mess up and then, he get rewarded for his awful behavior.
Absolutely.
The NFL seemed like they, and it's weird because it's a double-edged sword. So you have certain people like Colin Kaepernick and on one side of the spectrum and Ray Rice on the other. Well, those guys disappeared from the NFL for one reason or another, right? But then you got people like Lamar Hunt and Dante Stallworth and now Josh Gordon and now Antonio Brown getting rewarded.
Right. And opportunity after opportunity.
It's wild to me. I'm not a fan of that, and I hate that after everything, especially the way he treated Mike Mayock and John Gruden out in Oakland. And the way he flipped the script on his teammates down there, used everybody down there, lied to everybody down there, made John Gruden like a complete idiot, for him to kind of get rewarded for that. I just think
he made a pretty much a Nike commercial off of John Gruden.
Yeah, it was terrible, man. It was awful, But that's John Gruden. John Gruden had that coming because
he did. He got rid of Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
and that was the start of the end right there.
Absolutely,
big dummy.
It was terrible, but it is what it is. You say that you think he's gonna be like on a straight and narrow, and I got a feeling. I think by week 6 or 7, we're gonna be talking about this again, and
I don't think so. I think he knows this is his last opportunity, and Belichick don't play that.
I hope so.
You miss a practice because.
But
and listen, if Bill Belichick won't touch him, guess what? The rest of the league is not gonna touch him.
Absolutely not. You know what I mean? But it's just. But I know he won't be having no altercations or no confrontations.
He ain't gonna be doing all like that.
He ain't gonna be doing none of that. He ain't gonna be whipping no phones out in the middle of
doing Facebook Live. I guarantee it. Yeah, he won't be doing none of that.
But time will tell, and I guarantee he won't be fussing about no helmet or doing no stupid weird stuff with his feet and none of that kind of stuff either. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just a weird story, and to see how it kind of unfolded over the weekend, which is weird. But I know one thing that I personally didn't like. And I don't know if how the Patriots feel about it, was when he put the meme up about business is booming in the Patriot way, and he had a cartoon of himself in a big old thing of money. I don't know how the Patriots are going to respond to that.
I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. He got less money going there than he was. I mean, maybe my math is wrong. 3-0 minus to 9.
To 9, right? Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. He said business is booming though,
Oh,
but but Antonio Brown is a little bit off his rocker. So you know what I mean.
This is evident.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So we had some nasty injuries. We had Devin Funchess out of Indy. 2 other guys broke their clavicles.
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles and somebody that's on the same team.
Really?
Or in the same game.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and so what's his name? Got scuffed up a little bit. Mahomes. Yeah. So I don't know. It was opening week. It was, I don't know. I think it was good. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, but you know what? I will go ahead and give Dallas a little bit of props right now because Dak Prescott. It was only
he looked good, right?
Only 2 quarterbacks that finished with a perfect QBR this week.
He looked good.
It was Dak and it was Lamar Jackson. Two quarterbacks that nobody would have never thought it would have been the 2, right? No, it wasn't Brady. It wasn't Rodgers. It wasn't Roethlisberger.
I did call the Cowboys beating the Giants. You recall.
I already had to justify it. But anyway, here's the thing. I just wanted to give Dallas they props, but here's the thing is the question was still about Dak. Okay, he put that performance up, and. He on a campaign to get $30+ million, but that's one game. I still ain't seen enough body of work to say I'm all in on Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? But we'll just have to see how it goes down, and that kind of thing. I don't know, but I think they had a good game. But again, they were playing against the Giants, so I wouldn't read a whole lot into it. Just like I definitely want to give Lamar Jackson props for the performance, but. The level of competition was kind of lackluster. So,
right.
It's in a vacuum. You really can't call it. Now, I will say this though.
We got our tie though we got our tie there.
But let's talk about Kyler Murray because we said they was watching at the end of that game together, right? And the whole thing is everybody online know how I feel about Kyler Murray. I didn't think the kid had anything in him. Said it was missing a clutch gene. But you recall, we sat there and we watched them wheel that team back into that game.
6 minutes, and
so that's something to say right there, But we had to see going forward though, because again, he didn't win the game,
right?
So, but he did. He kept them from losing the game. But they didn't win the game either. So that in this league, you got to win.
You got to win. But that was a good first week for him.
It was pretty good. I think I counted the Panthers completely out. I knew they were going to lose the season opener against the Rams. I really didn't think they was going to even bring anything but they hung in that game.
They hung in there. I thought they were going to win.
Yeah, it was.
That was my pick for the win.
Yeah.
So
and I got to give my week 1. See, it's like I want to give my week 1 awards out. I want to say my week 1 player of the week. I'm gonna see if you can help me decide who I'm gonna give it to. So I want to give it to Lamar Jackson for. 5 touchdowns, 150, perfect QBR, all that good stuff. But man, I was thoroughly entertained by Deshaun Jackson. Man, this team was down. It looked like it was over. Him and Carson Wentz, man. And I don't think they ever played together before, right? No, I don't think so.
No, I think he was gone by the time.
So I'm leaning to it just because of the spectacle that Deshaun Jackson, put on. I ain't gonna say it overshadows Lamar Jackson's performance.
Nah. You gotta give it to Lamar.
It was Deshaun Jackson coming home against a division rival, coming down 16 points to win the game.
It's Lamar Jackson, glorified running back. Glorified running back, shutting it down. Okay, you gotta give it to him. 5 TDs. Yeah. Nobody saw that coming. Yeah. We kind of expected to see Deshaun go off. That's what he does. He's fast. He's right. Yeah. Nobody saw 5 touchdowns from Lamar. It has to go to Lamar.
And then and as far as my loser guy for the week, man, I'm tired again. I don't know if I want to give it to Baker Mayfield for his 3 interception game and his poor decision making all that game. Or if I want to give it to the winner who always winning, who's the defending champion of being a loser, Jameis Winston. Right? I don't know. Right?
My vote.
Right,
Jameis Winston. Right? I can't stand him. Right. He is just the worst.
Yeah, he is. He is, man. But
he got auto drafted on my fantasy league.
Wow, you must love that.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, that's the only quarterback you got right now?
Him and Kirk Cousins.
Okay, Kirk Cousins had a good game.
Yeah, but I forgot and had Jameson. Yeah, so
that sucks.
Pretty,
right?
pretty much.
That sucks, right? But I can't think of nothing else that happened that was notable.
Yeah, it was a good week. I was shocked that the Patriots tore up the Steelers.
Yeah,
I mean 33-3. Did anybody from the curtain come to play?
I don't know. So in the conversation was they lost AB. How good were they going to be? But then they like, oh, where the Patriots coming from the Super Bowl hangover. Tom Brady is a year older, and this was, I know they just signed AB, but they ain't have him, and they still that dominant.
The Patriots don't have Super Bowl hangover.
Oh no,
because their coach starts playing for the next Super Bowl as soon as the one is over.
That's right.
The confetti come up, he'd be like, all right, next year, what we gonna do?
And what I was analyzing from week one was to see who in the AFC was going to challenge the Patriots for the spot in as far as the AFC Championship is concerned. I can't find a team right now. Everybody wants to say KC. Yeah, they got awesome, offense. They putting 40 up on people like it's nobody's business. Mm-hmm. But when it comes playoff time, and they get punched in the mouth and they fold like a lawn chair every single time.
And not only that, their defense is bad.
It is.
They gotta do better than that.
So without defense, man, you don't get far in the postseason, man. You're not. And I mean, so who else you got in the AFC? Look, the Ravens shows some flashes. Chargers. But see, the Chargers struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be a little bit more dominant in they week one outing than they were. And I mean, but the Chargers may still be the ones because I'm just saying it was the Ravens versus the Dolphins. I ain't ready to go all in on the Ravens just yet. You know what I'm saying? But but otherwise, I don't know who would challenge them, and I don't know who gonna come out of the NFC because I thought it was gonna be the Saints, but they didn't look as sharp. They had a really good outing, but they didn't look as sharp and as dominant.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit there last night.
They didn't look as dominant as I thought they would be. And I mean the only NFC team that looked dominant really, and it's crazy to say it,
was the
Dallas Cowboys,
yeah.
right?
But again, they were playing against the Giants.
Right.
So
it is what it is. So,
right.
But that's that. And unless you have something to add to it.
No, that's good. Let's do these picks.
Okay, so week 2, we kick things off with my team. Another home game. Mm-hmm. This time is in prime time.
Right.
And this time is against your boy, Jameis Winston. Mm-hmm. And guess who I got to win the game?
Yeah, you got the Panthers.
We're going to keep pounding. I got the Panthers.
I got the Panthers, too.
Right. The Cowboys have another divisional test. This time they're on the road. They're going to Washington to face off against the Washington team. Now, I'm torn on this one. Look, really? I'm not going to deny what Dallas did last week, but I saw how Washington played last week in the loss.
They played pretty good.
Right, that's when they played against the Eagles, right?
They played against the Eagles,
and I mean they had that game, and then they just let D-Jacks go off on them. You know what? I think they come back home and they get redemption here, and we even this thing out.
So you're going with Washington?
I'm going with Washington on this one, right?
I'm going with the Cowboys. I don't really think Washington has an answer for Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, they might not. You might be right about that. But I'm rooting for the Washington team. Here we go. The Indianapolis Colts are going up to Tennessee. Now, Tennessee is a hot team right now. They put a beating on the Cleveland Browns, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody saw that coming. Delaney Walker, Marcus Mariota. He got your boy Tannehill waiting in the wings to take his job, so he done got a fire lit up under him. Mariota was balling, this weekend. So I don't know.
I'm going with the Colts because you know what happens with Tennessee? They have one good game, they talk all this junk, and then they go out and they lose the next 5. No, Titans, no.
Listen, the Colts actually look better than I thought they were going to look.
I thought so too.
It's just like there's nothing that the Colts are doing that makes me say, "Oh my God, they're gonna smash everything." I don't know.
The dude from the Titans, somebody, they were who we do.
Right,
you ain't did nothing yet. You played the Browns.
I got a feeling the Colts gonna go 0-2 here. I'm going with the home team. I'm going with Tennessee.
Okay.
All right. So the Seahawks barely squeaked out a win against the 49ers last week.
No, they didn't play the 49ers.
Not the 49ers. Who was it? I forget who it was. It wasn't the 49ers. You're right. It was the NFC South team? No. Oh, no. Anyway, it was 21-20, I think the game was. It was like
right.
They barely squeaked the win at whoever they were playing against. And now they got to go up to Pittsburgh. And, even though the Seahawks won last week, they only won by 1 point. It was a slow game. They didn't put a whole lot of points up on the board. Their defense wasn't really doing a whole lot either. Now, I got to say, the Steelers disappointed me and everything. So, you know what? Now that I'm just saying it.
They played the Bengals.
Yeah, they played the Bengals. That's what they played. Yes. They played another NFC North team. This time they're going into Pittsburgh. I think since Pittsburgh took that L against the Patriots, they got. Look, I'm gonna go with the Steelers here. And another close one. I don't like either one of these things, to be honest with you. But
so it's the Seahawks against the Steelers.
Yeah.
I am going to go with the Seahawks.
Okay. So I'm picking the Steelers on this one. I'm going with the home team. Okay. All right. Now this one, you know what? I'm gonna do this for the second week in a row, and this time I got some more justification for everybody who think I'm picking crazy because I keep on picking the Giants. But the schedule just dictated. I'm just saying they had home against the Buffalo Bills. Okay.
I'm going Buffalo.
I'm going New York Giants. I'm going New York Giants on this one. Buffalo won last week.
That's right. They beat the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going to Giants again. Okay, look. Come on. That's not my video. Okay, so we're oh, here we go. So we are looking at the Patriots. Okay, listen. If the Ravens put up 59 points on the dog,
the Patriots are going to tear them a new one.
What do you think the Patriots going to do?
Oh my goodness. Antonio's going to run down their mouths.
Yeah, I got the Patriots on this one too.
Even though the Dolphins always play the Patriots pretty tough.
They really do. And they in Miami too, right?
Yeah, but it's not going to happen. Not this time.
Nope. Especially not when they got a new toy they want to play with, right?
Yeah.
Here's a divisional matchup that I'm excited about. Jacksonville with their backup quarterback Gardner Minshew, right? Versus Deshaun Watson, who had a monster game. He had a monster game last week.
First of all, this now, with Jacksonville is going to be playing a team with a real defense.
Yes.
Coming up against the Houston Texans.
Right.
Kansas City defense can't stop nobody. Right. So I would expect that this unnamed dude would be good.
Gardner Minshew, right?
Yeah. So he's not going to get off Houston Texans.
Right.
No way.
Look, the Deshaun Watson, and he had a pretty good game, and DeAndre Hopkins. The defenses still ain't there yet, but I think if we look at the defensive performances that we saw last weekend, I was actually surprised at who had the number one defense on fantasy. I think it was a red team. Who was it? Was it Washington?
49ers?
No, it wasn't 49ers. Wait, maybe it was. Somebody would. Yeah, I was surprised. Whatever the number one fantasy defense was, I was blown away by it. But the Texans defense ain't no slouch either. I like Houston, and it's a home game for them too.
Yeah.
So I like that. All right, so we got another divisional matchup between the Minnesota Vikings going into Lambeau. Definitely didn't like what I saw out of the Packers in the season opener against the Chicago Bears. And the Vikings has got too much. It's just too much high-powered offense there, man. The Packers D ain't strong enough. I'm going with the road team here.
But it's in Lambeau.
It's in Lambeau.
I'm going with Green Bay.
I'm going with Minnesota. Right? Okay. So now we have the LA Chargers going to Detroit. I think that's the easy one.
Yeah, I got the Chargers.
The Lions are coming off a tie game with the Cardinals.
And that they led like most of the game. And in the last 6 minutes, you let them score, 18 unanswered points?
And if the Chargers lose this game, then I'm taking them out of all conversations about postseason stuff. I'm going with the Chargers in this game, too.
Right.
This is an interesting one right here. So we got the San Francisco 49ers going to Cincinnati.
I'm going to go 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I don't think Cincinnati got nothing coming up.
I don't know, man. They actually surprised me last week, in that game against Seattle. They played better than I thought they would. Andy Dalton was getting off a little bit. But Garoppolo had a pretty bad day.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I don't know. See, they on the road going into Cincinnati. Cincinnati got, they both got kind of newish coaches. Cincinnati need to win. 49ers already got one. I'm going for the home team here. I'm going for Cincinnati.
Okay, you got Cincy?
Yeah, Cincinnati, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
this one is going to be easy. So we got those Cardinals, those fledgling Cardinals led by their rookie college coach in
Kingsbury.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury. He bringing his air raid to...
Who are they playing?
They're going to Baltimore.
Oh, get out of here. You know it's be more all day.
Right. Yeah, I got the Ravens.
That defense is going to destroy that little boy.
Yes, I got the Ravens as well. Right. We got a divisional game out west. The Chiefs going to Oakland. to face off against the Raiders. Now, this is gonna sound crazy. They both won their games last week. The Chiefs won by 40. They had dropped like 40 on their opponent. The Raiders, had a back and forth outing with their people. I like the Raiders' defense a little bit more than I like Kansas City's, but I don't think that Oakland got enough firepower to keep up with Patrick Mahomes in that offense.
And I don't think they have a defense that can cover everybody on that offense.
Yeah.
So I gotta go Chiefs.
Yeah, we're going Chiefs. So I just don't think the Raiders are gonna be able to keep up. They're not gonna be able to put enough points on the board. All right, so here we go. We had to wait to week 2 to see it, but we got the New Orleans Saints going to LA to see the Rams. Okay,
it's got to be New Orleans
because this is a revenge game for them, right?
It's a revenge game for them.
But okay. So, where was the scene of the crime? Was the scene of the crime in New Orleans? Or was it in LA?
No, it was in New Orleans. I thought.
Okay. So this one's tough for me because the Rams kind of had they had a little bit of a battle with the Carolina Panthers, who they should have kind of won that game a little easier than they did. And then the Saints.
Is this a Monday night game?
This is the Sunday afternoon game.
Oh, wow!
They didn't make a prime time. So
come on, decisions.
Okay, hold on. The Rams won that game last year on a technicality, right? It was a bad call, right?
That got nothing to do with this year.
Well, I'm just trying to think.
From what you say, who got what?
The teams match up well.
Who's going to guard Michael Thomas? Who's going to guard Alvin Kamara?
Who's going to take care of? Okay. I was thinking about Todd Gurley and some other people.
Yeah, Todd Gurley need bad.
Is that the Saints go in there and get it? No.
Saints go in there and get it.
The Rams hold on to that. They stay perfect, man, through week 2. I got the Rams stand.
I think that's wishful thinking because you need your division set up a certain way. That's what it sounds like to me.
I'm just saying.
Sound like some wishful thinking.
I mean, look, I just
wishful thinking.
I'm just really thinking about the Rams did struggle with Carolina, didn't they?
You just need them Rams to lose. To win, so that
I'm sticking with my pick. I'm sticking with the Rams. I'm sticking with them. They're at home. You know what I mean? Okay, Glass's 2 teams play against each other. Chicago goes to Denver, right? To get they're gonna get a win there. I think the road team will win. I think Chicago. Everybody has a lot of bad stuff to say about Mr. Trubisky. Couldn't get a touchdown. Couldn't get no offense rolling. But the Chicago,
I'm going with the Bears this week.
I'm gonna go with them this week too. I just feel like the Broncos, they kind of flat right now.
They did.
Yeah. So. And then and that was your Sunday night main event, right?
Really?
No, actually that was a 4:25 game. Here's your Sunday night game. Eagles and Falcons, right? Eagles go to Atlanta.
I got the Eagles.
I got the Eagles winning in Atlanta. I think I do too. That will put the Falcons at 0-2. Now you're like, I like that. I mean, Eagles just look really, really good last week.
They do look really good.
It's a road game, but it's just to be okay. So this is what you get for Monday night. Now this is set up for Baker Mayfield to get his revenge. They put him on a big stage on Monday Night Football. They put him against an opponent like the New York Jets, in New York, right?
I'm going to say Browns.
I'm going to go with the Browns, too. I feel like they got to get it together.
Yeah, and I don't know if the Jets can handle all that they have.
You know what? The hype was they got all this talent in Cleveland.
You still got to know how.
But the issue was nobody said nothing about how them dudes was going to end up playing together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
you could have a high performance vehicle and still not know how to drive.
Absolutely.
So that means nothing. But
really,
I am picking the Browns this week.
I think the Browns eventually will get it together. I think it's just the Eagles. Look, Odell Beckham can't show up to the game wearing a $500,000 watch, expecting to play.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
And a $500,000 watch.
You can if you can afford it like that. It's stupid. But
first of all, who wears a watch in a football game? And second,
Odell Beckham.
Why are you checking the time? There's clocks all over the place. What are you talking about? You don't need a watch.
Maybe he forgot to take it off.
I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm just saying, it's stuff like that caused the Browns to not. And you know what? And I said this last year. You was like, "Oh, Odell Beckham coming there, and he gonna be X, Y, and Z." And I was like, "Nah, man. Odell Beckham want to win. He want to win. That's what he want to do. He want to go to Cleveland so he can win. But he bringing that nonsense to Cleveland too. You know what I'm saying? That's That's the stuff that Cleveland didn't need. Now, they already got Baker. Now, Jarvis and them boys ain't like that.
Right.
But you put Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham together, them two dudes don't need to be on the same team together. Well, you know what I'm saying?
They're
right
in now. You know, see what they do.
They corrupting each other. You know what I'm saying?
They just had a bad game. Let's not say they corrupted each other just yet.
They corrupting each other, man. You know what I mean? That's what's going on right now. And but you know, hopefully they get it together. You know, and they'll be able to push on, man. For the city of Cleveland, I want them to get it together. But you know what, though? If they don't get it together, you know who I'm going to blame? I'm gonna blame John Dorsey because I don't know if this is his fault. I don't know if he had anything to do with naming the coach or whatever. But, man, when they dismissed Jackson and they had the interim dude, Greg Williams, step up, and all of a sudden they started winning all these games and stuff, and they had all this momentum and everything. You know, we got cut right short when they replaced him with Freddie Kitchens, which, you know, if you're going to get a job to Freddie Kitchens, why don't you let Greg... They both were on the coaching staff anyway.
Right.
They both were sitting right there.
Right.
You know, but if that was the guy you wanted to do the job, let him do the job.
Right.
Oh, you're going to have this guy do the job and be like, oh, no, we're going to go with this other guy. I don't like that. Right. And I think that's the reason why, they couldn't get it together. You know, to start the season.
It was week one, baby.
I'm just saying. I don't like stuff like that. You know
week
what I mean?
One.
This dude got you 5 wins. Them was the 5 wins your team ain't seen in years. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna hire this Dingleberry, and what do? He continues the Browns tradition. They losing again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. We done spent the all summer long. We spent the whole summer. I know I'm ranting. We spent the whole summer hyping up the Cleveland Browns, saying they're gonna win the AFC North and they're gonna win 2 playoff games. And they do this nonsense. 3 interceptions. Are you serious right now? 65 yards rushing total. I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't do it. Anyway.
Week 1, dude.
That's our show. That's our show for the week, unless you have something you want.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but look, I'm having a lot of fun this season. I'm kind of glad that I'm able to enjoy football again. Like, didn't really get a chance to really get involved with it. Like I said, we came into the season late last year, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I got to enjoy the second half of the first half. I could, but this is good doing a show together again, right? Mm-hmm. And hopefully we can get a good version up online this week, right? A good, fresh, crispy copy of the show.
Little picture of Elmo this week.
You know what I mean? Anyway, it's been cool. I'm your boy. Oh, do this, because we said this last week and we didn't. I don't know if people made it to the end of the show because the show was so terrible. But I also, like in the link in the description of the video, there is for the podcast listeners and stuff, I always leave the podcast voicemail link. So like if you want to make a comment on what we said on the show, or if you want to, maybe you didn't agree with what we said on certain things, or maybe you want to add to it with your own opinion, we actually want to play those at the end of the show. So just to kind of give back to the people who watch us and stuff like that. So click that link at the in the description. Record your little feedback. Record your little voice message, and we'll start playing them at the end of the show. Awesome. But remember to follow me on Twitter at TeamBoydTV. I'm there, even though I'm supposed to be working. I'm still tweeting while I'm at work, while I'm watching the games on Sunday. You can hit me at TeamBoydTV.
And I'm at Vernie B.
All right, so that is going to be our show for this week, and we will see you guys next week. And make sure you we're going to say pay attention to tomorrow night, but don't worry about that because